Okay, so hi, I'm Goddess Kwane, and this is my first time on StreamYard, so I'm really excited. I hope you guys can hear me really well, and I hope you guys are doing good on this new moon. I've been holding off like going live because I just get so nervous, but then again, I just wanted to go live and just talk and say hello. And one of the subjects is like connecting to your goddess energy, because it is a big deal when you take on a role such as goddess or empress. You hear a lot of people call Black women queens, which is nice, but if you're on the road to like elevating yourself and you start calling yourself a goddess or empress, it's very important that you know what that role may take on, what it can do, because words have power. Words are spells. And so calling yourself this higher being and you start to work to vibrate at a higher position in your life, it's a lot of responsibility. It's a lot of responsibility. Your mindset will change and things like that. So again, I'm Goddess Kwane. I have a skincare line where I also make spell jars. I make spiritual baths. I make body butters for different spiritual needs, such as protection, healing your inner self, finding joy, connecting with herbs and Mother Nature, because I do like to infuse a lot of herbs and flowers into my body butters. And so we just get a luxurious experience. And I also make candles. I don't have no candles here with me, but this is one of the body butters I have. This is sweet almond to sweeten up your light. Sweeten up your light. And why is this? Okay, so I always use this as an example. But then the jar always be looking a hot mess, so I do apologize. And almond is really good. Almond and honey is really good to bring in good energy. And if these headset die, I'm going to be really mad. And I think they're about to die. So let me disconnect. Okay. So I hope you guys can still hear me. Make sure my microphone is still going. Okay. And so, where was I? Oh, my body butters before my headset started to die. And so almond and honey is really good to bring in good energy and to sweeten up your life. And so that's why I made sweet almond. I'm like stuttering because I'd be so nervous at times, because at the end of the day, I'm like still human. And so I have that. But welcome in people who are going to be watching on the replay. Thank you for coming. So exciting. My first live here on YouTube. So the first one that I wanted to get into is when I started to walk this journey and started calling myself a goddess. Like earlier this year, I'm still a student, but I decided to walk this path as a goddess. And so the first thing I noticed is that I need to set and respect boundaries. Now, it's easier said than done. One, I had to come up which boundaries was like a hard boundary, like absolute no, that if you cross this, the consequence is that you are X'd out of my life. And which ones can be like negotiated, like a give or take. Which ones are just like a soft boundary. So it's like, yeah, it happens, but just don't do it again. So coming up with ones that is a hard no that can be negotiated, ones that you can slowly get a pass on, and the consequences for those boundaries. And then with that came a learning experience that if I wanted body autonomy, then I'll have to allow other people to have their body autonomy as well, and to give them grace for if they want to cut me out their life for whatever reason. They want to cut me out their life, then they have the right to do so. And that is okay if I don't get closure. Like if they just leave, they just leave. Everybody have their own reason. I have my own reasons why I mean, to this day, I still be ghosting people. Like people, I'm like, oh, I don't know about them. I don't know about that date. So I'm just gonna be like, so I just, I roll out. So that does happen. And so I had to allow other people to have that same grace. I'm single, so I go out on dates, and for whatever reason, some people just don't like me. They don't want to be around. They say, like, they tell me they want a second date, and then they stop talking to me. So, that's their right. I can't force nobody to talk to me, things like that. So I had to sit down, do my shadow work, and create it. I've been in therapy for like years. I haven't been in a while, but I did therapy for quite some time. Excuse me. I did therapy, for quite some time. And so with that, I had to learn myself. So I took that responsibility to learn myself and to just start the shadow work, start the healing journey by at least having that safe space in the therapy office. And so, yes, setting and respecting your boundaries and other people's boundaries as well. The second thing I said is realizing your own strengths and weaknesses. And the reason why I put that is so that we can start deprogramming the patriarchy that, especially if you come like me, I come from a Christian background. And so I had to deprogram myself as I was studying different religions and different cultures, and also just learning myself, deconstruct the idea that perfection. If you look at other practices and religions that have more than one, it's not monotheistic. If they have more than one, all of them, the gods, the goddesses, the celestial beings, the star seeds, however you want to say it, they all have their own strengths and weaknesses. That's why certain goddesses is for this and certain gods is for something else, because they all have their strengths and weaknesses. They all have their individual knowledge, and they all can come together. You can thank them for the things that they do provide. Some of them haven't had an easy life. Some of them, you take into account Ganesha in Hinduism. The reason why he has an elephant head is because he defied his dad, and his dad was like, Shiva was like, nah, we ain't doing this. So all of the gods and goddesses, they have their strengths and weaknesses. They have their backstories and things like that. No, they're not perfect. They've had plenty, if you look actually into their stories, they have plenty of times where they're just not proud of themselves. And so you have to learn what your strengths and weaknesses is. And through working with myself and learning about magic and learning about my own power and taking time to myself, I was able to realize that I am really good with herbs and flowers. I've had a green thumb since I was a little girl. I always used to love helping my grandparents and things like that. I've always had a green thumb. I can put together some concoctions that is really awesome. That's why I started creating like my business, and I have like flowers around me. I have like crystals around me. I have my cards, and I realized that I'm really good with burning stuff. So I have a lot of candles. I have a lot of incense. I have a lot of herbs. I just, like in my last video, you seen that I was placing some jars, and I need some more. Like around my house, you see like my little bottles. I have my bottles that I carry and I take with me. I have different crystals that I carry. That was just my strength. Like I'm really good at like putting together candles and putting together jars and mixing things together and making my body butters and making my spiritual baths. And one of the things that I was talking to one of my previous clients at my old position is he said the most coolest thing ever. He was like, every woman has power. Nobody can do it like the next. And if you think I'm playing, he was like, you could line up 5 women and all of them can follow the same recipe, but each of them, it would taste different because it's the way that they make it. It's the essence that they put in it to make it different. And so that literally relates to finding your strength and your weaknesses. Even though you're calling yourself a goddess, you still have your strengths and weaknesses. Some of the goddesses, they was created. Some of them elevated, and they ascended to being Orisha or a god, a celestial being. They ascended to that. They ascended to being a spiritual guide, things like that. And so you just have to realize, like, yeah, your strengths, your weaknesses, what triggers you. And not just triggering like in a negative way, triggering as in what makes you happy, what makes you excited, what makes you get out of the bed, what makes you angry, what makes you go off the rails. You want to learn that because that way you know how to respond, especially if it's a negative thing. Like, I know one of my biggest things is, and I'm not the only one, but it's a common thing of like having like random like men when you're out and about, having them touch you. That's a red flag. Like, it triggers my PTSD. I know that it would come in my fight or flight. So I make sure that I've trained myself within like 2 to 3 seconds. I will know how to get away, make my stance known that you do not touch me, that I don't know you, and I can exit as appropriate as I can. And let's see, on to number 3. So number 3, oh, that's 6 fingers. Oh my goodness. Number 3, and that is indulging in yourself. And what I meant by that is actually sitting down and taking the time to get to know yourself. Not just that, but taking the time to rest, taking the time to appreciate the things that you have created, taking the time to give thanks to the divine beings, your ancestors, your spirit guides, your higher self, the work that they have put in, the work that they have put into you. You're out here asking for things, you need to believe that it will come because it's coming. And so that you need to take time to rest, indulge in yourself. One of the things that I'm going to do to indulge in myself outside of speaking on this live stream is I'm going to get a pedicure. I'm so excited. I haven't got a pedicure in a while, but I'm going to get a pedicure after Thanksgiving. I'm going to get a pedicure on this coming Saturday. Yes. And I'm excited, and I made sure that I have already gave thanks to any of new customers, and even just to people just shopping at my website and viewing my live stream, viewing my channel, viewing on my Facebook page. I just give thanks already, And so that's one thing that I'm going to do to indulge, because I made it that far. I made it to the point where I feel somewhat comfortable some of myself on screen, on live, because on live you can't edit it, just go. And so this is a new thing for me, and I'm very excited. And so I need you guys, goddesses, the ones that started to walk their journey or is walking their journey. It's the new moon. It's new beginnings. So if you haven't been taking time to do something for yourself, this is the time. We're in a great shift. We're in a great motivational, emotional shift. And so you want to go and keep them vibrations up if you can. So like if what you really want to do costs money, try to find a way that it won't cost that much money, or something else that's a little bit like different, but it's still within it. So like if you like to be out in nature, and you don't have the gas to get all the way across town to your favorite park, Try to find something close as possible that's safe, okay? That's safe. One of the examples that I do when I want to be around nature is I just go to like Lowe's, Home Depot, or a nursery and walk around and just look at the plants, touch the plants, smell the flowers, just imagine like, oh my goodness, if this was in my house, how would it smell? How would it feel? How would the light reflect on it? Just to get that like little fix without spending money, but being around nature as well. And then let's say 4, I kind of touched on this, finding your purpose. That can take a lot of work. But just know that all these steps that I'm speaking, it doesn't come overnight. I am still working through them. Like sometimes even with my list, I still have to go up and down and remind myself how to stay on my path. So finding your own purpose and you live in it. And one of the things I say that is just deprogramming. If you come from a Christian background, especially deprogramming yourself out, feeling like you have to be controlled, feeling that you have to like shrink yourself. Because yes, the actual goddesses and the gods, they are bigger than you. They are doing the damn thing. But know that essence that's from them is already in you. You already have it. And you are allowed to share it, just like the people that are condemning you to hell. They are expressing it. They expressing it a lot. But you can express your light in your dark side. You can express your inner self, your inner child. I come to have a fascination with gaudy earrings. Like you see this one. This was handmade by a Black woman. Gaudy earrings and jewelry. I wear my crystals. No shame. I wear my spell jars. No shame. And that takes time. It takes confidence. One way I used to boost my confidence is that like I would do my makeup. Even though I look in the mirror and I'm like, oh, that don't look too good. But I would program my mind to see it as the best makeup, and I would just wear it. Because even though I looked at it and seen that, I was like, oh, my makeup don't look so good. Other people don't. They can't read your mind. They just see somebody with makeup, and they was telling me it looked nice. So just live. Like live. It's easy said than done, yes, because it takes work to have confidence to be your full self. But it is time. The universe would like you to walk your path, to be that goddess, to be that empress, and walk that path. And if you have to do pros and cons, and if you have to try out different aspects of spirituality, then you're just going to have to do it. Because it took to get here of calling myself a goddess, it took years. It took like 5-6 years of me learning different denominations and spirituality and practices and stuff to be like, to really find, I'm like, oh, wait, I fit in right here. About 5-6 years. And sometime before this, I would say about 7 years. So give yourself grace. Before I was like, okay, this is where I need to hone in. I need to hone in on herbalism. I need to hone in on candle magic. I need to hone in on my crystals. I need to hone in on divination. And I just started doing that, and I will forever be a student until I ascend, when I transition and I ascend to, hope to be a spirit guide. So, number 5. This one is really big. Speaking to yourself and using power words. And what I mean by that, speak to yourself. I am statements is the easiest way. I am powerful. I am here. I am alive. I have divine purpose. I am light and dark. I create my own path. I can create my own happiness. I live in a world surrounded by people that I call my friends and family that love me. Speak it. Words are spells, and you can command them on yourself. Let's see. Another example I have of power words is like describing like your clothes as luxury. Luxury. Look at that tongue twister. Luxurious. Thank you. Excuse me, girl, get it together. Divine, beautiful, ambitious, a conqueror, empress, like I said, worthy, magnetic. So these are words that you want to associate with yourself. And then describe what that look like. Luxurious. What does that look like? Ooh, I smell good, you know? I have this, a luxury, like fragrance is the easiest. They have like different things now where you can get luxury brand fragrances, like discount, even if it's just a sample. It's like, I feel like I'm in luxury. You go and get that Gucci scent and things like that. You feel good. You feel happy. You brighten up. And look at me thinking about the Gucci scents for women smells really nice. I'm excited. A conqueror. So like when things like come that you can't control, because you can't control everything, unfortunately. And just like you reminding yourself, I am a conqueror. I can get past this hurdle with devotion and planning and giving myself grace and making headway, clearing my head, getting enough sleep, asking for my ancestors and trusting that they will give me that answer, doing my divination, giving my thanks, that things will come to pass. Knowing that you are worthy for what you have set your own standards and your own cost. And one of the examples that I heard is to know your worth. So you know your worth. Now you need to tax it, because time is precious and don't nobody got time to be wasting your time. And if somebody feels like, when it that you wasting their time, then they got the right to leave. But time is precious. Most definitely, that's one thing that you can't get back when you are mortal, is your time. So, excuse me, my lips is kind of dry. I actually make this lip gloss. It's in my shop. I make sure I put like nice precious oils in it. Grapeseed and olive oil. Get my lips great, because it's cold here. I'm in Ohio and it's cold. So yes, speak to yourself, speak in power. That's what I want y'all to do too. All right, the sixth one is harnessing your feminine energy. And what I mean by that is knowing that your power can bring life. Your power brings spiritual protection. So they say like the divine masculine is the one who's like ambitious and like goes out of there and reaches their goals and stuff. Yes, you want to harness that. But when it comes to like the strength that drives that will be like the feminine. The strength that makes sure children have what they need. That's the feminine energy coming through to making sure. They say it's Mother Earth for a reason, because she is sprouting the life. Regardless if you can have children or not, you still have that energy to bring new life, even if it's just new energetic life to something. You have that. The feminine is very powerful, because the feminine energy also can be the bridge to your divination, to your power. So your power is there. So you see the masculine and the feminine. You see the celestial beings. You see your spirit guides. You see your higher self, things like that. That feminine energy is what's going to push you to get there. That feminine energy is what's going to hold that love and that spark to bridge that gap between your spiritual self and your physical self, because you do need that. You do need that relationship to make sure that you are walking in your power. Okay. And then what else? Number 7, surround yourself with people that you see your power in and who see theirs in you. So what I mean by that is people see that you're beautiful, that you're divine, you're happy, and you're loving. You want to see those things into other people as well. If they're becoming an energy vampire where they just want to suck you dry, not in a good way, but like just pull that energy and you're just around them and you're like, man, I feel drained. Like we hung out and I am drained and I am tired, and that's not a good thing. Like it is not cool. Like it's not good over there. Or, somebody you just be like, something's off. Like, I don't think they respecting my boundaries. Something is off. You will want to get them out of your life. You will want to surround people that love being around you. You love being around them, and it's mutual. You don't want to be around people that is going to break that connection with your divine self. You don't want to be around people like that. I was around somebody like that. I was around a couple people and I had to cut them off once my spirit guides was like, if you don't leave, then we're going to force you to leave. And so like they ended up like ghosting me, and I just had like a feeling. I'm like, I should just leave them alone now. Yeah, I think. Oh, that's my dog scaring the shit out of me. Darla, thank you. They can stay outside. Thank you, girl. And so you did good, but just calm down. Dog. Okay. So, yes, now she wants to cuddle. So you just want to be around people that you are equally yoked with. So they know their strengths, even though I have friends that we don't even practice the same. Like, I have friends that are devout Christians, but we respect each other's boundaries and respect each other and we love each other to where it's okay. You different, I'm different. Bing bong, we still cool. And so you just want to make sure you find those people. You find those people that you're going to strengthen and they're going to give that energy back to you. So it's a two-way street going. And then lastly, for the people that's just now walking in their goddess and their empress energy, I want to bring up is do what reminds you of your power. And so, and I say that is that because you do not want to forget your journey and the journey that you're still walking on. You don't want to lose your faith and what's keeping you going and what's keeping you satisfied and alive and energetic and things like that. You don't want to lose that. And so one way that I remind myself of my power is that I wear my head wrap. My white head wrap is a symbol and symbolizes to me that I'm doing my best to walk with my ancestors. Walk as fast they would when they was trying to practice their spirituality and the combination of thereof and hoodoo and things like that when they were enslaved, covering their hair, not just to protect them from the sun because it was hot, but to practice what they did the best they can to remind them to protect their crown. Um, and so that's one thing I do. What else? I like to meditate, and when I meditate, I close my eyes, do my best to just calm down and to first I like protect my home that I do and protect myself. And so I start to protect myself. I protect myself. What was I? Oh, and I meditate. And I just imagine like a bright light, not light. It can be any color or smoke or whatever. My friend taught me this years ago. And it could be like any color. One of my favorite colors is used as like pink. I don't like pink, but it's nice to meditate on. It's real, nowadays it's like a girly, but purple. Purple is my favorite color, as you can see with my hands. Purple is my favorite color. And so I just imagine like purple smoke all around me. And I breathe in that purple smoke and I feel it go all over my body. And when I exhale and I make it like it turns gray. So it's like sucking in stuff, sucking in that tension and that negativity and the bad thought. And then when I blow it out, it turns purple. It gets recycled. And then I breathe it in and it turns gray. And I breathe it out. And then slowly as I'm breathing, it starts to slowly, with each inhale, it starts to slowly turn purple. To where the smoke that I breathe in and what I breathe out, I mean, that's within me is one. We're just one because I got that recycled. Yes. Another thing I like to do to remind myself of my power is I like to put water on my altar. Water is really good. And I have told my spiritual team because I like the little bubbles, because when you see the bubbles in the water, that means spirit is present. I had told my spirit team that I really like to see those bubbles. It gives me confidence and it gives me joy to see that just a physical representation. Like I can hear them. Sometimes I see them out of the corner of my eye. You see me like jetting back and forth sometimes because I be seeing things in the corner of my eye. So right here. And so I can like see them. And so it's very exciting. And they do what they can. And before I go to bed, I'm actually going to go burn some ancestor money. I'm going to go ahead and get that burned. Get that burned for the new moon. I have already cleaned my altar. I have 2 altars. I have one for like the gods and goddesses, and then I have one for my ancestors. So I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. It was a real pleasure speaking to you guys. And the people that's going to be on the replay, I appreciate you. I appreciate you coming. Feel free to drop a comment or anything like that. And I will get back to you guys. I'm going to try to film on Saturday, just like on my TikTok and things like that. And you can reach me on my TikTok at KM Essentials. I'm going to type it here in the chat. KM Essentials. All right. And so you can reach me there, and that's on my TikTok. And then my website is this, KMEssentials.net. And you can reach me there. All righty. So go ahead and you can go ahead and pin this. So you can go ahead and reach me there, and that way you can you'll be able to see me and stuff. You can go ahead and purchase my products. I've been working on my little speed, like my business coach. Okay, she's been giving me some stuff. What I can talk about, and you see, I even got a little damn spot on my little business coaching papers. I got a little spot here that because I've been going over it and just speaking, so I can learn to speak with you guys and have a little bit more confidence, things like that. And so I hope to hear from you. You can also go on my Facebook. It's KM Essentials on my page, and I'd be more than happy to talk to you, to get to know viewers and things like that. So feel free to drop, going over to Facebook and, drop me a little hi in my message. It'd be nice to hear from you. So until then, you guys have a good rest of your night and enjoy the new moon. I will talk to you soon. Bye.